Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to my show. I'm Eve, and tonight, December 6th, 2024, I had some thought about some things that I've seen in the news, and I know you guys enjoy my thoughts sometimes, and sometimes they make you uncomfortable. Sometimes they move you to do some things, and I was very moved by some things that I've seen. So, without further ado, let me show you some of these things. First on the agenda is going to be, did you hear in Missouri they are paying up to $1,000 per head? And I know that might sound kind of crazy, right? But it's I think it's fitting. We're existing in a time where we have people who are not from here, uh, just moseying about like they own the place, right? They're walking around and they didn't even take their shoes off before they muddied up the carpet. Um, you have your local ICE agency, ICE baby, if you will. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny because in Missouri, do y'all remember Valentina Gomez? This racist piece of shit is a flea from Colombia.
George Floyd was a criminal and a drug addict, just like Hunter Biden. These thugs don't deserve murals.
Okay, so I don't know if that just got me a copyright strike or not, but I guess I'm glad the audio stopped working on it. Um, that racist piece of shit. Her name is Valentina Gomez. I always thought she was an interesting person to have such thoughts with such an accent. But can't really fault people for how they feel. It's when they try to go do something with these feelings, like this woman tried to run for office in Missouri. And, well, not only did she lose by a lot, um, I thought it was very interesting that, Missouri's trying to put a law in the books that says that, people who are not supposed to be here, people who they know that they're breaking the law. It's time to do something about these people. And it's like, it's like she couldn't read the room, right? She's in this state where it's very casually said that, if you're not from here, maybe you should go somewhere else, right? I mean, where is Missouri? When I think of illegals, I'm always, I guess, stereotypically thinking about ports of entry places, New York being the biggest place. You got Ellis Island is the original immigrant port of landing, right? Fresh off the boat from Ellis Island. Then you've got places like Florida, places like Virginia, places like California and Texas. And excuse me, I kind of understand those places. It's these interior states that I'm very questioning. Like, how did, all right. I mean, I get it. We've got cars and planes and boats and trains. It's not like you can't get to certain places, but just how is it so comfortable for you to be there and not really feel the law? I mean, we come from a time where our ancestors had to deal with sundown towns. So, you know, being places you're not supposed to be because there are very real consequences. You would think that people who come to this country would know the story, right? But no, not only do they not know the story, but they will actively shit on the people who fought for their ability to be here and, just the story in general. I was listening to Mayor Adams, right? He's all big and bad now, and y'all know I like Sky News. Well, Sorry. Y'all know, trying to migrate and navigate between a bunch of different tabs on one screen. So just bear with me for a moment. But did you hear what he said? It's not that he's all changing his stance or anything. He's just using more blatant and bold terms for things that should already be common practice as a mayor of a place that is being overrun by people who are not supposed to be there. Yeah, see, those who are here committing crimes, I'm sorry. If you are illegally here, you are already committing a crime. So, Mayor Adams, I feel you, but are you really meaning these things that you say, or are you just saying some shit because it kind of sounds good? Like it kind of makes sense a little bit, but when you peel back the layers, it's like, did he say anything notable? Is he changing his stance? Is he going to be tough on illegals, or is he moving the goalpost? Yeah, how we're going to address those people who, they're breaking the law already, but if they're not actively shooting at police officers, or, if they're not raping innocent people, I'm not talking about those. I just I wonder if people give a shit about what people mean when they say these things, because I mean, you can be all big and bad in your words and then also exist in a place where not only are people not being questioned their legal or illegal status, but they're getting off, they're getting away, they're getting to commit the crime over and over and over again. So who who is he talking about? I mean, really, like we've got the Daniel Penny trial going on and the judge saying stupid shit like, well, with a deadlock like this, we must consider the lesser charges. Fuck you. How many people were on that train with those people watching this man be murdered, who said that he wasn't a threat, who said that he wasn't harming anybody, who said that he didn't have a weapon? I mean, really, uh, to me, deadlock sounds like it's a bunch of tethers deliberating on if this is the little Negro who's going to get a pass because of, well, mental illness and such like that. How? No, it's just that, we're existing in some times and some very strange things are happening. And inside of the strange things, it's so much happening that, if you don't take the time to sit back and just kind of question any of it, it'll just continue to happen. It will come in a landslide. It will feel like you've been hit with a tsunami of, well, I guess right now the tsunami is rainbows and acceptance and, just love who you want to love. And well, if you voted for the orange man, then shame on you because clearly you don't know what love is. And, he's a rapist and a racist and all of these things that, well, that Joe Biden is, but at least he's nice about it. At least he's, old and demented now. So, if he meant those things back in the day, well, he was just a man of his times. Of course, right? Of course. Um, a man of his times. I wonder when America is going to come to a time when the maths with regards to these politicians, like, did you? I mean, obviously, you guys know that you don't have to be American to hold office, right? Or at least you didn't have to start out American. But, when places like Chicago are turning red, and I say turning red very loosely, Chicago very much voted blue, but there were some red pockets. And I think that that's, I guess, a glimmer of hope for people who want us to continue participating in these systems. It shows that at least they're trying to do it their way. I find that might be, a little long, a little longer to get to the end result, which is once you realize that it's two wings, same bird, well, I guess you start to move a little differently. Or at least most of us start to move a little differently when we find out that, these things aren't really doing anything. It's not really moving anything in any direction that makes sense. And well, when that's the case, then why participate? They said that this election, Chicago had, a low voter turnout, lower than 2020 when Joe Biden was running. And I think these little instances of people either turning red or staying home, that is that's something that we should pay attention to. I had a video and I think I lost it. Maybe this is it. Okay, guess it doesn't want to play right now. That's fun. And now it's gone. Don't you just love when these sites just, take videos away and they just put another video up there, and then if you didn't catch it, then you lost it. And I know I'm not like these other YouTubers who, spend their lives on the internet as much as, I see things sometimes. And I wonder if you guys see some of these things, as much as I wanted to talk about Hunter Biden, I didn't want to talk about it right now. I wanted to talk about Chicago, but I think I lost the video. So, well, Karine Jean-Pierre has been missing from the camera. I don't know if y'all have been trying to find her like I have, but now she's on camera, and I guess she's able to say some things a little bit more unapologetically about why Joe Biden has done some of these things. So I guess we can get to her, even though I wasn't ready to do this yet. Now, I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing, but if you look up who Joe Biden has pardoned, you can, they've got a list out there, right? And I just I wonder if any of these people are people you were hoping got pardoned. According to justice.gov, there you go. You can check it out. We've got a Betty Jo Bogans. We've got an Abraham Bolden Sr., Dexter Eugene Jackson. Different offenses. You got Betty Jo with her possession with intent to distribute some of that white stuff that his son, is famous of using, maybe even at the White House, but that's alleged. Gary Parks Davis with his cocaine transactions. Edward Lincoln DeQuato with conspiracy to distribute marijuana. I mean, I'm not going to read all of these names and all of these charges. I'm just saying that the information's out there if you guys want to see who all has been pardoned. Jason Hernandez, conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute controlled substances like methamphetamine, cocaine, hydrochloride, and doing all of this within 1,000 feet of a school. But he got pardoned. That's cool, right? again, not going to read all of these names or all of these charges, but you can take a gander on your own, justice.gov. It will look something like pardons granted by President Joseph Biden, 2021 to present. And, well, December 1st, 2024, Robert Hunter Biden for all of these offenses, right? But it's okay. When your daddy's the president, it's like you kind of expect some things. And that's why, the Democrats keep saying that we need to be afraid of Trump because of all of these things that he's going to do. And then the Democrats go and do all of these things that they say Trump's going to do. So I don't understand if they just think that we're the R word that rhymes with, I don't know, etarded, but you put the R in front. I don't know. Some of y'all are so sensitive to words. It's almost like you haven't been called a nigga with the hard R, right? But I'm not calling you a nigger. I am saying that, some of this stuff is very stupid. It's very backwards. And then the way that you guys act like some of these things matter to you, but you haven't done anything about it. I mean, honestly, Valentina Gomez has done more as a flea, trying to run for office off of the American dollar than some of you niggas on these internet spaces and waves. It's a lot of bitching and crying and moaning about what we should do and what we could do. But then when it comes time to actually do things, y'all niggas is missing in action. And if you're missing in action from the actual action, are you an op? Are you an agent? Are you a coon in disguise? Like, I just want to know. It would be a little bit safer for us as Americans, right? To just kind of know who the ops are. If this stuff matters to you. If it doesn't matter, then I guess do what you want to do. But the way I hear these people crashing out in these spaces, it's almost like, well, I guess it's like people sending thoughts and prayers. When you send thoughts and prayers, it's like you feel bad for the people experiencing the situation, but you don't really want to do anything about it. There's this woman that was this woke Black Lives Matter advocate, and she's all in the news because, well, I guess she doesn't know what it means to be Black in America. Now, I'm not trying to be funny, but she said she wasn't afraid. And just trying to figure out, like, when you say fighting words, right? Do you expect people not to come outside? Is that really the America we exist in? People are so snowflakey or pussy that, it's just the internet. It's just keyboard warriors. It's just you ain't really gonna see me. I'm gonna post my location and you can pull up. Do y'all know that some of these people are fucking crazy? I mean, really? Is that, and then is it for content? And I'm really asking because this is the shit that I see on Black Twitter. I see these spats, right? And I'm calling them spats because it's, it's like family. You can't really get rid of them, not really. And then the way that y'all are so accepting and open arms and loving of all of these people who share the same type of genetics that we do, it is almost nauseating, because then they come over here and they say shit like they're not afraid of this and they're not afraid of that. And when am I gonna be looked at as, ain't I a woman? I'm sorry. Didn't we already Sojourner Truth this, about 200 years ago? I mean, maybe they're telling her to stay in her lane because she used to be an illegal. I mean, all right. What are the odds that you come to a country when you're what, like 10 years old? She's from Cape Verde. I don't know if you know where that is, but it's some islands off the coast of Africa, West Africa, I think. Y'all know I'm not a geography teacher, so don't have me lying, but if I need to pull up a map for you, I can and will, and so can you. The internet's your friend. Anyway, she's from Cape Verde, got here when she was 10, and didn't become a citizen until 2019. And I don't know, ma'am. What are the odds that that is your story? I don't know what you fled from, because when I looked at the demographics and statistics of Cape Verde, it doesn't really look like one of these war-torn places like, I don't know, like Sudan. Like anytime I see like a Sudanese person in America, just based off of my own misinformation education, they got me thinking and teaching children at one point that it is the Nuers against the Dinka, and they're fighting each other because they just don't like each other anymore. And then you do a little research and they're the same fucking people. And it's on some cap, what the fuck is the family's names in Romeo and Juliet? The Caps and the Montagues, right? Essentially the same people, just at some point had some sort of spat over territory or over resources or over some bitches. I really don't know. But at the end of the day, you can't tell a motherfucking Dinka nowhere, because they all the same. But then no, they start cutting their faces and doing scarification. It's like, oh, you can tell because of the different marks. And I'm sorry, that was from 5 years ago when I was teaching this shit to the children, public school teaching. And, you kind of have to go with the curriculum. But inside of the curriculum, when Salva had to walk all these miles for water, and then, my school being such givers that they are, such the trailblazers, if you will, they raised enough money to build a goddamn well in Sudan. Yeah, my school, old school, not the school I teach at now, has a whole goddamn well in Sudan because of the whole water problem that apparently is a man-made problem. And it's not the niggas in Africa who did it. It is the invasion that they couldn't do anything about. And then, well, a long walk to water turns into years in the desert for some of these children. And then, well, America has open arms and here's a program for you and you can come over here and your birthday's January 1st. Y'all think I'm fucking joking. I'm not. And y'all think Tariq be just exaggerating. He's not. This whole Africans with the birthday of January 1st, trying to tell you, this is before anything Tariq was talking about with this birthday shit, was teaching it to the kids. Why? Because Salva had a long walk to water. I mean, that's the damn name of the book, A Long Walk to Water. Y'all look it up yourselves. And it's a true story. And he's got a whole thing now where he's making wells all over Sudan with the help of you and me and essentially all these good white people, because, good white people help out Africans. Shout out to Joe Biden giving $1 billion to Angola, talking about how we will never forget the past, and then completely erasing half of my genetic heritage, memory, lineage. What about the black natives? Y'all came over here and you tried to fuck everything up with your diseases. Couldn't do that. So then you said, okay, well, prisoners of war, that's understandable. We can do that. And then, well, native turns to mulatto, turns to Negro. And well, now nobody knows who the fuck anybody is. But this woman, Tania Fernandez Anderson from Cape Verde, well, she said that she's not afraid. Shout out to you. I mean, again, I feel her. You know, she's definitely speaking with her chest. She is trying so hard to encapsulate the fire of the natives of this land, but it's just given Cynthia Erivo to me. You know, and Miss Fernandez, con permiso. You know, I don't fucking know you. I don't know what the fuck you've been running on. I don't know what the shit you've been trying to do in Boston. It's another place where it's like, why are there so many people not from here? Do y'all remember when it just used to be us and them? Now it's a whole bunch of mess. And I absolutely blame the generations who came before us. I really do. With my whole chest, with my whole heart, with my whole being. Blame these motherfuckers for the fact that we still have to deal with some bullshit. And, you know, I know. I've been trying to like do better with my language, but tonight I'm a little irritated because these people come over here. They have such vitriol when she could be fighting the good fight in Africa. I mean, really, look at this shit. I swear, one of these days I'm gonna say, look at this shit, and it's gonna be like, boom, right there for you. Okay. Look at this shit. Okay, well now it's gone. Where's the fucking map? Okay. Y'all see this? That's Cape Verde. That's Africa. Okay. That's America. And somewhere in here is Boston. Come on, zoom, bitch. Zoom in. There you go. There's Boston. Can you see it? Boston. I know. Bear with me, but some of y'all ain't seen a map since school, so, you know. And there's Cape Verde. Now, let's just fucking look at the damn distance. Doesn't it just, to you, maybe, just maybe, zoom out again just for shits and giggles. Doesn't it look like this area right here is a little closer to this area right here than it is to this area all the way over here? I'm sorry. Miss Fernandez, I think you're in the wrong spot. It's almost like she doesn't know that Boston is racist. Like, I mean, real talk, maybe you just, you know, when you're not from someplace and then you get there, you start feeling a little comfortable, you start getting a little relaxed, and then you start thinking that you can start running shit. And I don't know where else on the planet you get the audacity except here in America. I mean, clearly there is some sort of precedent that has been set where these people not only can come here and say, hey, I want a part in your politics, I want to have some control over these resources. I want to be the overseer. Oh, did I say that? Yeah, I did. Because look, it is the buffer class that keeps all of this shit in check. If there were no buffer class, it would be us versus them at this point. I mean, really, truly, the flat black that Pan Africa provides, that Wakanda provides, that Negro land, and all of these imaginary places that y'all think exist or exist in your mind, so maybe they do exist. You know, they would be very real places if we didn't have to deal with a buffer class. And, you know, the fact that you don't know who is buffering and you don't know who is tethering, you know, it's very dangerous. it's women from who aren't from here saying that they're a black woman speaking so boldly about things, and then again not knowing the lay of the land. Look, in 2023 in July, she admitted to violating the conflict of interest law by hiring family members. So she was forced to pay a $5,000 civil penalty. Now her current charges and things that she's in trouble for, it's all about money. So maybe it's related to this, maybe it's not. Maybe the fact that she admitted to this last year is the reason that they even have a case against her now. But people, they look at politics, they say, oh, Trump hired his daughter, Trump did this, they did that, they did this, they did that. Did y'all not learn from any of the niggas who have gotten in trouble for doing any of the shit that white people do? No, you didn't learn. Okay, well, that's why she's all stomping and foaming at the mouth and just looking all crazy at this meeting that she is supposed to be speaking for her constituents. And essentially, I guess her constituents told her, bitch, shut up. Be happy that you got the vote. They're gonna take your seat. We want you to do something for us, so we got you there, and now you're going to throw it all away because of what? I'm not saying that she isn't or hasn't been speaking about Black lives, because they identify her as a Black Lives Matter advocate. But I'm sorry, when the news puts that label on you, it just kind of gives you a little stink, a little funk, a little, I don't know if you like us. And then just a very quick Google search, you're not like us at all. I wonder, I think that if she were still illegal, she would be going back to a very nice place. Cape Verde is a place that people want to visit because of the low crime and how essentially most of the crime is domestic in nature, boyfriends and lovers quarrels and shit like that. So being afraid to go back to a place you haven't been to since you were a child, I don't know. Maybe we got to pull up our big girl panties and catch a flight. Get flued out. Really, isn't that the American dream at this point? To get flued out? So yeah, the government is going to flew your ass back home. And maybe you don't go home, but you will get the hell up out of here. And I'm all for it. And no, I'm not for separating families. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that the parents who send their child on a journey on their own, there's a special place in hell for them, but I'm not God. So what do I have any say over their next destination, but for their current destination, contemporary wise, where they are right now, while they're living and breathing, they're trying to be here and they're trying to give little Jose and Maria a better opportunity. Well, no. Jose and Maria will learn that there are consequences for your actions, especially when you break the law. And what an opportunity to learn that no one's above the law. All those Spanish last names I saw on Joe Biden's pardon list, it's almost like Karine Jean-Pierre is done. She's saying, hey, look at all these people that Joe Biden's pardoned. Y'all are not giving him enough credit. He's pardoned all these people already. But then you go take a gander at the list and it's like, bitch, we're saying that you need to let out all the niggas for non-violent offenses. You need to pardon all of the niggas who have, marijuana charges, violent or non-violent. Fuck that. If you had to defend your shit with a gun because people were going to kill you, then no, what? All of it. Because the way that I saw Hunter Biden pointing his gun at the camera and snorting cocaine off of hookers and all sorts of different things, it's like, I feel you, that's your baby, but he's not a baby anymore. He's a big boy. And, you're supposed to let your children scrape their knee. That is how they realize that there's consequences for our actions. But again, from Well, Miss Fernandez, who got over here at 10 years old and had the ability and opportunity to get her citizenship in 2019, to Hunter Biden, who, maybe he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but he was born white. So he does get that white supremacy, white privilege advantage. Well, now in 2024, the icing on the cake, not only get to be white and do all these things, but no charges for the past 10 years because your daddy's the president. I mean, I have no love for Barack Obama, but aren't one of his daughters in the tabloids every other weekend? And I think the other daughter doesn't even want to be known as Obama, which I guess is a whole nother story for a different day. But just to kind of close things out tonight on these current events and things that I've seen, the stuff, if you will, I just I really hope that you guys are thinking on our identification, because while I don't think we have to agree on what to call ourselves, you can call yourself what you want, that's where we are. The landscape and environment and the social politics, all of that has aligned for you to be powerful right now. So you want to be a butterfly, be a fucking butterfly. But if you're a butterfly who has a lineage that ties to this land and this soil, well, you better be a butterfly for fucking reparations, or you better be quiet. It's like very simple. Outside of that, talking against or down or really being in the way is not going to be how you move the needle in a direction that makes sense. People who continue to say that they have problems with things, but they don't do anything about these problems that they think they see or that they say they see, well, that person should be a problem. That person should be considered a problem. And this person that you have on your screen, I don't know if Boston is just that racist or that segregated of a place to accept all melanated people as Black, as much as maybe the Black people in that area said, hey, we need somebody on the inside. You go do that. And then not only did she, as soon as she got in, she hires family, not knowing that she's going to get in trouble for it later. The people, them other people, they know how to do these things and not get in trouble. And I'm not talking about just completely ignoring the law. I'm talking the loopholes. I'm talking when you own a company and your buddy owns a company, well, you don't hire your son. No, but you hire your buddy's son, and your buddy hires you, your daughter, your son. It is a mutual exchange of resources, and it doesn't look like nepotism. But you wouldn't know that if you weren't from here, because you wouldn't have seen it. You wouldn't have been around it. You wouldn't have experienced all of these people getting ahead off of nothing. The good old boy system. That's what I grew up under. And the fact that y'all don't even know what that is a goddamn shame. Before I end tonight, I just I would like to remind the audience that it doesn't take much, but it does take some consistency. It will take you asking questions. It will take you not dropping the ball. When the going gets tough and you want to get going, no, that's the time to stay. That's the time to stand on your square and say it again, because it is in our repetitive response that they will yield. They've experienced a Black America who has been very unfocused. Well, as we end and conclude 2024, I don't want to pray on this, but I really do hope that all of the things that people have said that they've seen, the things that have moved them, the things that have caused them to disrupt the most peaceful of gatherings, really do mean these things to these people. Because, when it's time to go outside, it's going to be real sad to see a bunch of bitches with no niggas out there. Transversely, it will be very sad to see a bunch of niggas and their bitches aren't there with them. it'll be pretty incredible to see Black America standing on business together. Like I know we can, and it doesn't matter what you call yourself because you know that that's part of your claim. The fact that we can't even get along if you don't have the same identification, man, charge that to the game. I mean, really, charge that to them people who already owe us. And well, I think January is only a couple of days away. Until next time, y'all be easy.